Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 150th episode of Kev Plays. We're gonna Kev play, she's gonna Kev play, he's gonna Kev play, Kev play, we're gonna Kev play, you, and Kev play there, and Kev play to the right, and Kev play to the left, and spin around and clap, and
I can't believe they just attacked like that.
These people are not like us.
What if we'd been refugees?
Hey, Pulpa Pig.
What if we, I don't know, had intel they needed?
It doesn't seem like they care about that.
Looks like the dialogue is repeating, even though obviously I loaded it up again. But yeah, this is episode 150. I didn't even know till I just started. I was like, I wonder what episode I'm on because I usually try to keep track of like the 50 intervals. And yeah, it's episode 150 of Kev Plays, which is not much. Milestones are nothing, but it's kind of interesting. My 50th episode was the finale of Last of Us, like when Joel goes into the hospital room, with Ellie, and my 100th was in Spyro the Dragon 1, which is like I think it was in the one of the Dreamweavers worlds. But yeah. Anyway, we're back. I figured I'd pick up where we left off, right? The Blue House. We just got past some WLF shenanigans. And now we're back. So yeah, the PlayStation Showcase came and went. And it's like I knew, like I said in my tweet, I knew the expectations were running wild. A lot of the things I was saying on Twitter were just jokes, really. Like I didn't expect SOCOM to be there or anything. But before it started, I was like, first of all, you have to keep in mind that it's been almost 2 years since the showcase, and every first-party studio has been quiet. Like we got our Horizon Forbidden West, we got God of War Ragnarok to end 2022, but we didn't know anything else other than Spider-Man 2 and Factions. So I was like, at least those have to be there, right? And Spider-Man 2 was. Spider-Man 2 was great. I thought, looked cool. Trailer was exactly what you would want, I guess, because I did want to see gameplay. So it was a good gameplay showcase of it. I like how it's going to, you're able to switch between Miles and Peter, and obviously we saw a more story mission thing, so you kind of had to switch to Miles, I guess, for that mission. But I feel like it's going to be very like free will, and what I like too is just like Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, it's probably going to be taking advantage of PlayStation 5's SSD, the solid state drive, that where you can instantly jump from one end of the city to the other at will in a split second. Not like say like how GTA 5 takes like a minute or 30 seconds, pretty much like a minute almost on PS3, to switch between characters. So Spider-Man 2 was cool. I like how it's expanding this New York in terms of it going to Queens, because wasn't Miles Morales, was that Brooklyn? They had like Brooklyn part of Manhattan or something, or I forget, or was it just all Manhattan really? But anyway, I like that it's expanding, especially since Queens is very close to me, and I go back and forth to Queens to like visit friends a lot. So I'm looking forward to seeing like landmarks and certain areas. But yeah, the Venom thing. The thing is with me, I didn't play Spider-Man. I wouldn't have played Spider-Man if it wasn't included in my PS5 bundle. And because I've never really been a Marvel person, but I'm glad it was. I'm glad the remastered version and Miles Morales was, part of that Ultimate Edition that I played. I'm not really familiar with, like, I know Venom. I don't know who Craven is. It Craven, the guy that was like the jungle warlord guy? I don't know much about that villain, but it seems people are excited that he's kind of like one of the forefront guys. Um, but it looks cool. I don't really. That's the thing, though. Is like I don't really know much about Spider-Man other than beyond the first game. Like it's kind of all new to me. I know that Venom is a thing where kind of like takes control of him or something, or becomes like a separate entity or something. But I'm really kind of going into it, fairly blind in terms of like knowing the lore and the comic book uh ness of it. So it looks cool though. There is Wrath, that is Yuri. Oh yeah, Craven the Hunter. Okay, yeah. Yeah, see, like I'm gonna have to learn all these guys. Miles Morales was the same map as the first. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Um. Oh yeah, wasn't he just more part of like a Puerto Rican neighborhood? I think wasn't that what it was? And that was exploring that part of it more compared to the first game. Even though it existed in the first game's map, it just like was explored more, I guess. But which is cool. Yeah, that's what it was. But yeah, if they can get more of the boroughs in, like Queens, Brooklyn, and like that would be cool. The trailer was good. Um, but man, oh man. First of all, I was like I said, I was like last year at Summer Game Fest. Neil Druckmann spent like 20 minutes on stage talking about Last of Us Part One remake, and he brought Ashley Johnson and Troy Baker on, and they were all talking about how great the game, Last of Us is, and then they showed a concept art still of factions, and that was it. And it was just like, I remember at the time I was like, oh, you guys wasted like almost like 20 minutes when we could have got some more games, especially since we had nothing from like Toys for Bob or any of the Activision stuff that I was really looking forward to. But so I remember being disappointed last year. So I was like, okay, we got a concept art last year. They got to show something because Neil Druckmann already said that they are going to be showing things. So it's like I don't know if they're going to be saving it for Summer Game Fest or maybe like later on in the year Game Awards or something. But it's just like, where is it? I understand that games have to take time in the oven, but you could have at least given us like some type of idea of what this game even is. It's so frustrating being in the dark, and I was expecting something else, just like what's going on with Bend, what's going on with Sucker Punch. Who those are two developers we haven't heard from in a while. I know there's some side projects going on with certain developers, like with Guerrilla and Sony Santa Monica. We didn't really get that, and it's just like, I know we're not owed information, and honestly, like if they wanted to just do this as like, this is what's coming out this year, this is what a little bit, because they did say that there's going to be the third party partners, so I knew what to expect, like Square Enix and Capcom and all that stuff, but it just kept going and going and going, and honestly, I started to get like bored. Like I was expecting. That not every game is for me, but I was just like, okay, we're running out of time here. Like, is there any like this was supposed to like for me? This is around the time E3 2016 would have been for PS4's lifespan, and in that we got Days Gone, we got Horizon, we got Death Stranding, all these new games from the first party. I think we got Last of Us Part Two in that year. I forget, but it really felt like you know that's what we were gonna get here, especially since we haven't heard in so long. I don't think we needed like Twitter or like the games media pundits to really be hyping up the showcase, getting us all jazzed up, thinking that was going to happen. Uh, like if they said nothing, I still would have expected more. You know what I mean? Sony fumbled really badly with this. Yeah, and this was like the time to do it too, especially since Xbox was kind of like, you know, they were tripping over themselves too in in this last like month or so with like the frustrations with the Activision deal and Redfall not really performing well. this would have been the time to be like, hey, like if you're not familiar with Sony's first party or the Sony ecosystem, here's what you can expect if you want to buy a PS5, now. And maybe maybe people who aren't really in the know of PlayStation are could look at the showcase and be like, hey, those all looked like cool games. Uh, but for people like us who know that Sony's first party are really holding out on us and being quiet, and we know that any day now they should be, that something's gonna be announced or something. It's just like you would have expected something there, and that's when it was just disappointing to me. That said, there were things that I did like. I liked. I mean, I was intrigued, but because I know Haven was one of the new acquired studios, I know that Sony wants to try to branch out and have these like, you know, games as a service type thing going on. So I don't know what they showed. Honestly, I don't know if it was for me, but it looked intriguing. It looked like it could be a quality multiplayer game, but there's that, and yes, Marathon is what I'm really actually more excited about because I don't care if Marathon is a exclusive or not. I like that doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is that Bungie finally has the breathing room. When they created Destiny, they had Activision kind of horning in on them, and they needed to like go their separate ways with Activision before Destiny 2 really started to take off. But the problem with that was like because I've heard really amazing things about like the Destiny 2's like expansions and all the chapters that it goes through, but it's so hard to jump into that for me, like who's never played Destiny. It's hard to just jump into that without knowing any of the anything about the world or any like it's just hard. Like it's like almost like you need to be there from the beginning. So I like the idea of Marathon being this finally, being this thing that that for me, like I can finally play a Bungie game, not a Bungie Activision game, but a Bungie game, since Halo, that can be really creatively innovative and fun and all that. And I'm on, yeah, I think it's like actually leading above Spider-Man 2 right now for the most watched trailer, which was honestly, even though they didn't show gameplay, it was a pretty sick ass trailer. Like, but yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I've been looking forward to see what Bungie's been up to for a while, in terms of a new IP, and that I think this is my like a good time for me to jump into that, into their into what they have to offer. So I'm looking forward to that because I honestly I think Destiny 2 plays awesome, but as a guy who likes story and everything, I feel like I would get so it's almost like a hindrance for me that I can't follow what's actually going on. But I might enjoy the gameplay, but at least with Marathon, I'm coming in fresh, and I'll be able to because they make great games, like they always have, and the art direction and everything, like everything, the game design that they make, like that they foster and everything, it's just really awesome. I just can't wait for that. So I bet you regret buying Metal Gear Solid on P. I was okay. So I was talking to my friend about this because my friend at work is a big Metal Gear Solid guy, and he said the number one thing for him that was a win was the remake for Metal Gear Solid 3 and the collection, the Master Collection for the first three games. Um, and oh, excuse me. What was I gonna say? Yeah, he said like he didn't care about anything in the showcase. That's all he wanted, and that's all that made him like that's all he needed. But yeah, he was telling me because I was like, oh yeah, and so now I have the first game, but I know there's certain like because I asked him, I was like, I know there's a certain thing in the first game, and I won't spoil it if you don't know it, but there's a certain thing that can only really happen if you have like the PS1 version, um, and you're playing basically there's something in the game that happens that's very meta, and I'm sure you know about it, but that was my question is like if there's a master collection for a PS5, how will that meta thing in the story happen if it's not being played on like the PS1 or on the GameCube or how because I know those systems have kind of made it so that it would work. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but anyway, I have to say I'm glad that I lucked out getting buying a physical copy of Metal Gear Solid 1 for PS1 that runs great and it like there's no damage to the disc or anything. Like it actually like is like a really it's almost like a new copy. Um and I'm glad I got that. And I got it for an affordable price. I didn't get it for like, I didn't spend like a ton of money on it. So there's that. I'm glad I can at least have that for preservation's sake that I have the original. But I do think, after I'm done with the first game, that I'm gonna wait and see how this Master Collection turns out because that would be a great. Because I've been the only reason I didn't get the PS3's Legacy Collection it was because uh, Metal Gear Solid 1 was like a digital only. I think like you had to like get a you need to download it and I think like the download waiver could have expired if you weren't careful. So there's that. Anyway, let's read this card before I move on here. Circle. I mean square. Kennard Esquire, real name Georgina Kennard, brains 80, brawn 40, affiliation Society of Champions, a brilliant lawyer with a stringent adherence to the rule of law. Kennard, Georgie to her friends, is the best known defense lawyer for heroes who are accused of negligence, excessive force, destruction of property, and reckless endangerment. Her notoriety has brought her a fair share of unwanted attention, but between her black belt in Aikido and having the entire Society of Champions on speed dial, most are wise enough to let her pursue justice undisturbed. So this is like a Kim Wexler hero card, even though the guy, yeah, even though it's black. But yeah, whatever, doesn't matter. Anyway, what was I gonna say? I bet. Yeah, so there's that. And by the way, I finally put Burning Shores to bed. I finally like got the last trophy I needed, and I'm now playing Metal Gear Solid like 100%. Not like both feet in now, and I'm up to like I'm still like in the early parts of the game, but I think I just right now I'm at the one boss. His name is Cyborg Ninja, so I have to beat him yet. But like I'm in his fight right now. Uh, that's been fun. I've been enjoying so much of Metal Gear. I want to talk about that later, but I guess let me just like finish up the showcase discussion. There was one indie game that stood out to me, but I don't think I would ever get it. But I was like, I think this looks like a great quality indie game. It was like the standout to me, and that's the one that was what was it called? It was like um, it's the one where there's like four little characters, and they're going through like the kind of like the pages, but then they can come out in 3D and roam around in like as a platformer, but then they can go back to like being a 2D side scroller on like pages. I thought it looked really creative and interesting, and really well done. Like, oh, there's nothing up here. Okay, but that stood out as just like a game I think is gonna do well. I don't know if it's gonna be for me, but it looked really it looked cute, but it looked quality at the same time. Like I feel like that would be this year's Stray if people were interested. Other than that, I mean, like when Jim Ryan said before we get to our final, oh my, like why did they show the Gran Turismo movie trailer in this showcase? Why? I was just like, oh my god. And then it follows with Jim Ryan saying, before we show our final game. I was just like, what is going on right now? That was a bad showcase. It wasn't good. And I'm not saying that from the perspective of like a some spoiled Sony fan. Like it just wasn't good. Um, but thankfully, like I said, this year's like I enjoyed myself with Hogwarts Legacy. I am looking forward to Crash Team Rumble. I'm looking forward to Spider-Man 2. So my year is I'm gonna have a good amount on my plate. I still have to pick up Dead Space. Um, and I'm looking forward to Summer Game Fest. I want to see if Spyro gets announced. So there's still stuff to look forward to. Um, but man, oh man, yeah, the PlayStation Q thing that looked like it looked like it was like giving you the option to play on a mobile. Like, was that like your phone that's basically being like you can hook up like a PS5 Joy-Con type esque thing to your phone, or was that an actual like um kind of like a Steam Deck Switch type thing? Because I was really confused with what they were showing us there. And then they showed the earbuds too, which I'm like, oh, I wonder if those earbuds might be good. But honestly, I was just like, Also, I don't know what the thing is with like it's like a Wii U gamepad. Okay, yeah, I don't know. Like we'll see what happens with that, but it just seemed I don't know. It seemed like an unfortunate place to announce that when everyone's coming off of that Gran Turismo trailer, which we've already seen. We already saw the Gran Turismo movie trailer, so why are they showing it again? I know they're probably like proud of it or whatever, but it's like this is a PlayStation showcase. Like this is a game showcase. Like we're looking forward to that. Um, and then have Jim Ryan just like basically like deflate the room, saying that it's over pretty much. Like I don't know, everything was just muddled, just to rub it in our faces. Um, and also, like I don't want to hate just to hate, but what is with these like um Square Enix type trailers where it's just like 10 minutes long and you don't know like from my perspective like I don't play like you know Final Fantasy or like I'm sure people are really excited for Final Fantasy 16. I'm sure you are. Um but for me as an outsider looking in, it's like a 10-minute. These trailers go super long. They just copy and paste random bits of dialogue over that has nothing to do with what's going on screen, and it just seems like a jumbled mess. Like it literally like I plan not to look at my phone throughout this whole thing because like but I was like before this thing started I was like I wonder like if I do look at my phone at some point, it probably speaks to how bored I am. And that's pretty much what was happening. Yeah, that game is on my list. I mean, I'm sure you'll enjoy it, but I'm just like criticizing the trailer for the sake of the trailer. I don't know if it was exact. I don't even know if it was Final Fantasy, but like Capcom or Square Enix or those type of like games where it's a more the Eastern type and they're just dubbing lines over the trailer that has really nothing to do with what's going like and from me my perspective it's like I have no idea what's going on. I feel like they need to do better with trailers when it comes to that, but maybe that's just me. Okay. Get our pills. This is like a very wide area that we're in right now, and it's like I don't want to miss anything, but we'll see. Let's see.
Dina, fresh blood. I'm ready.
I also noticed last playthrough that one of the reasons I was dying was because I was not paying attention to my health at all. I noticed like I was rewatching the last episode, just to see if technically it was fine, and my health was like in the red, like really, like I literally had like 1% health. So I need to start learning to like be aware of that. All right, is there a oh, this is definitely a I don't have any. I guess I'll use this. All right, let's see. Can I switch? I want to switch my shoulders, but I don't know how. I think I knew in the first game. Blood. The blood stops here. That's amazing. You think that a zombie, or not a zombie, but you know what I mean, infected would trail some blood, but I'm guessing he would be this way. There we go. I was wondering where my axe was.
Yeah. Shit. Oh, my heart's racing.
Same.
Yeah, why not? Joel's watch apparently is still didn't look at it. Okay. But I'm looking forward to Summer Game Fest. I'm looking forward to see what Spyro, if Spyro shows up. I want to see more of CTR Rumble, obviously, and CTR Rumble should be out in a month, right? So that should be cool. I'm not sure what. It's like I don't think I'm gonna be able to finish Metal Gear by the time and give myself enough time to play Dead Space by the time by the time Rumble comes out. So I guess I'm gonna have to keep pushing that to my backlog, but eventually I'll get to it. Some more ammo. What do we got? What do we got? The new CTR Rumble stage looks awesome. Yeah, it was like Insanity Caverns I saw. Look cool, yeah. I'm bit. Tina's dead. We've been getting drunk on our patrols for a while. This was such a shit post. No infected, no scars. Far from it, everything. Her brother makes moonshine, so we drink and talk. Went that way for months. We were stumbling around the grocery store when these runners surprised us. Let her brother know I'm sorry. I tried to save her. Tell my mom I love her. Chevy. I guess that was the guy that just got me. Okay. Or that I got him. Oh man, alright. Wasn't I already in here? Cool. But yeah, Metal Gear, I'm very impressed with this game. Like, I'm impressed. I have the PS1 version, and this game plays so well for it came out in 1998. It still holds up like almost 100% for me. Um like when I try to play GTA Vice City, it does not hold up for me. This holds up. Like the physics engine and like the way it controls is very responsive, and that's something that I'm very impressed with. I'm also impressed with the dialogue with your like codec, like where you basically like get all these characters like on your transmission feed, and you can call anyone at any point in the game, and it feels like you're reaching out to a real person because they're always responding in context to what you're doing and what the stage you are in the game. Like it always just feels like there is just endless. It feels fresh. It doesn't feel like you're just like trying to get through dialogue. It always just feels like you're just like communicating with real characters, which I think is awesome. What we got here? Looks like a map. That's where I am now. The red dot. Have I explored everything? I was in here. I don't want to go too far without triggering something. Let's see. But yeah, I'm so like it's so awesome. And I used to watch this game at a friend's house when he was playing the GameCube version. So some of it has in the beginning has been familiar, but it really is cool. I love the sense of humor it has from Kojima. I was already in here, and I really also like that it feels like Kojima is really telling you not just a story about the characters, but something more. Like it feels like he's trying to give you a lesson on on like the Cold War and nuclear war and everything. Like I'm very impressed with this game. Honestly, if I didn't have so much this,
Something keeps bugging me.
what's that?
Why didn't they kill you and Tommy when they had the chance?
I don't know.
It seems reckless.
Maybe they're dumb.
Maybe.
What?
Could be that you just weren't who they were looking for. So they let you go.
Yeah, well, they did beat the shit out of us. The one guy, Jordan, kicked my face in.
Yeah, but why do you think that they didn't finish
It doesn't matter. They fucked up.
They did.
See, Ellie just has no patience for analyzing their character or anything. Like she doesn't care why she's still here. She just
What was
knows
the name of the girl in the note?
she's gonna do what she has
The
to
one
do.
in the TV station?
Leah.
Was she the one... she the one with the braid?
No. Only thing I remember about her was the sound of her crying over that sadistic fuck's face when I sliced him open.
So, how do you want to handle her?
Find out what she knows. Find out where the others are. Go from there.
You gonna ask her why they did it?
Yeah.
Any of
Interesting.
this jogging memories of stuff Joel said about his past?
Nothing new.
What are the chances he did stuff that you don't know about?
High. He wasn't very big on sharing.
I wonder what Tommy's making of all this.
You probably know more about all the people Joel crossed.
Just want to explore these cars a bit. But yeah, we're getting closer and closer, and I like how Dina's questioning Ellie, being like, "What's your plan here? Like, how do you like, what do you want to do? Like, what's the approach? Like, are we gonna try to get information? We're gonna try to ask why they, Abby did what she did, or
Hey, check this out.
How old do you think this is?
At least a few years. They probably put it up right after everything went down with the military. It must have been scary for all these people. First the outbreak, then Fedra, then the wolves.
I wonder how many stuck around and joined these WLF fuckers.
Good question.
Okay, let's see. I feel like this is like a good safe area where like you get the key to, or like the code to the safe at one door, and then you have to go to another. Seems familiar. Every bathroom definitely has pills. You think these people would have taken their... You think the WLF would have scoured this place by now. Is there a key to that? To 103? I wonder if it's gonna be mentioned in a note or something, or not 103, 03. I don't know. I want to go upstairs, but I want to see... There was a window. That's the window that takes you out this way, okay. Let's try to see what's upstairs. I don't want to go too far that way yet. Let's see what's over here. This is all starting to ring a bell. Alright, so... There's something... I remember this fence you can jump. I think you need that, like... I'm, like, debating going too far or not. Let's see. Okay. Oh, it's already in here. Let's see what's over here.
What are you doing with that?
It's stuck.
Hey, maybe try getting it off the curb?
Okay. Am I through with this area yet? Let me just see first. Oh, no, before we even do that, let's go up here.
I'll be back in a sec. I'll keep watch.
Okay, interesting. What we got? What we got? Viv, we were robbed last night. It was Jimmy. I hope he acted alone. If you guys are in a rough spot, you can talk to me. I care for you and your son. Now more than ever, we need to be looking out for each other. There are enough criminals running this city. And a little salt and some water to these, and it almost tastes like the real thing. It's not much, but hopefully it'll help get you to the next drop-off at least, Raoul. Okay. And you know, it just seems like Sony is just planning to be quiet now. Like it seems like they're very comfortable being very reserved. Like they knew Spider-Man 2 is coming out. Maybe Factions isn't going to be ready. We don't know yet. We don't know if it's going to be announced yet. But it seems like even last year, you know, they showed they were very late to even show anything about God of War before it was, you know, it's like they didn't go past God of War to announce anything. Really, I mean, we knew about Spider-Man 2, but like we didn't really get to really see more gameplay of God of War or anything until, you know, as it got more closer to the release. We saw like some trailer, but like it's just like it feels like they're very comfortable not kind of, I guess, you know, blowing their load all in one shot. And then because that's what was kind of a criticism in the PS4 generation. When they did E3 2016, then a lot of people were getting frustrated with how long it was taking for all those games to finally be released. So it's like you can't really win. And I feel like Sony's kind of taking it upon themselves to dole it out when it's necessary. You know, we. Oh, what's this?
Fuck is this? Some kind of bomb?
It's like one of Bill's bombs. It's like a mousetrap.
Huh. Nice
Yeah.
craftsmanship.
But it feels like they're just like, you know what, our for our pipeline for 2023, it's gonna be Spider-Man 2 is gonna be the big thing at the end of the year. We really don't, you know, our third-party partners might have some stuff, but it's not gonna be like every other year. I hope we get some bangers. I like we know for a fact that there is some that every first-party studio is working on something big right now, and or you know or it's like we just know we just don't we're just not being informed on it. That's the only thing, you know. With it's just interesting how they're approaching it, though. It's just like, I don't know, I feel like they need to find that perfect balance between like showmanship at these like showcases, so that people can be informed of what to expect from the platform, and also not reveal things too early to the point where we're all just where there's no more mystery and no more um no more mystique, I guess, is what I'm saying, is where we're not wondering, you know, because this is at least getting us to talk about it more. The more and more we have to wait. But you know, the thing is, I'm just a little disappointed with is I don't think it's the biggest deal in this year because I'm gonna be satisfied with a bunch of games this year, but ever since like I think Uncharted 4, which was in 2016, that was the last year. 2016 was the last year where Uncharted 4 was the only first party game that I had. Whereas every other year after that, between 2017 to 2022, there has been uh, at least two first party games available and that I picked up. Whereas this, it just feels like in terms of first party, it's just we're in a
Was it
bit of a
worth it?
lull.
Yeah. Pretty good haul.
But then when you think about it, it's like, well, the beginning of the PS4 generation was very scarce. You know, there was a lot of remasters in the beginning, like the Last of Us remaster was a big thing, but you know that was technically a PS3 game. Killzone Shadowfall was a tech demo. Um, I was picking up MLB 15 the show, and like 2014 I didn't really have anything like I got South Park later on, but that's not a first party game. And yeah, it was just the beginning of the PS4 generation was very scarce, whereas with at least with the PS5 generation, um, we we it's been very strong. So for me to be like, oh, there's only one game when it's gonna be Spider-Man 2 this year for first party, it's really not the worst thing in the world because at this point, Uncharted 4 in the PS4 generation was the only thing I was getting, whereas and everything before that was scarce. So at least they put out God of War Ragnarok, they put out Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, they put out you know, Spider-Man Miles Morales, and I know these are all, you know, except for Ratchet and Clank, these were cross-gen, but I think they were just in different times. You know, the PS4 and PS5 are they're kind of like work in conjunction with each other, whereas with the PS3 to PS4, that was the core processor. It took a long time for developers to really learn the PS3's hardware, and the PS4 was easier. And now the PS4 and the PS5 kind of like I said, they're more similar than any two consoles. So it's not the worst thing in the world. Like I don't care about you know, it was cross gen. So like for me, it didn't hold anything back. I thought every game we've gotten in the beginning was great.
I can still kind of see the buildings. How do you want to go?
Let's see.
But what was I saying? What was I saying? Yeah, like as long as the games were great, I have no problem with cross gen and you know us not really getting, you know, the true PS5 games yet. I don't care about that. I think these games are so quality to begin with, from the creative output from the developers, that I don't really care about like the technical too much at all. Like, I enjoyed God of War, I enjoyed Ratchet, I enjoyed Miles Morales, I enjoyed Horizon Forbidden West. Um, Even smaller games like Stray, Returnal wasn't really my cup of tea, but it was there and it's different. And that's like Housemarque is now a first party, uh, so yeah, like we got a really strong PS5, and Spider-Man 2 will definitely hold me over. I'm fine with third parties like Crash Team Rumble or Hogwarts Legacy carrying 2023 more so in or like say Dead Space or whatever. That's fine. And we just know, I think overall, if you well, like when we look at the full lifespan of the PS5, I think we're gonna be looking back at this year and being like, we're really not, like, we really shouldn't be complaining. Like, I think we're gonna be fine overall. Why is Insomniac carrying the PS5 so hard? They really are. Like, I was thinking that. I was like, I think Naughty Dog might be my favorite developer in terms of really the depth of what they offer. Like I'm talking about like every little thing from the ever since the PS1, I've always appreciated like the attention to detail that Naughty Dog games offer. But Insomniac has been great with that too. I think Naughty Dog actually has a little bit more depth to its games in terms of like just like I guess like the physics engine and everything. But Spider-Man, honestly, I shouldn't even be comparing it. Like Spider-Man, Ratchet, and their other titles also. Like they've been doing such a great job. They so far we have Miles Morales. Um, well, I, uh, Spider-Man Remastered, Miles Morales, and Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and Spider-Man 2. Like, there really are. They really are just like unstoppable. I guess that's the reason why they were. And to think that Sony like bought them for like I think like 256 million or something like that, which is like a steal. But they really do have the best managed studios. Oh god, what's going on?
You know how many times I got food poisoning, or why do you think I picked up this? Now I'm getting hungry. Yeah, I'm talking about food.
I don't want to trap mode.
Fuck is this girl? Somewhere in this area. And we're sure she ain't a Scar. She was riding a horse. Not a Scar. Well, Scars would probably kill her. Let's do our job so we can go back to okay? No way we're finding her before Scars are infected, you know. Good. Find the body and let's bring her back.
Okay. Why is damn, early PS4 was rough. Yeah, and I'm just trying to reread your things. I don't think I'll have a PS5 if it wasn't for them. For Insomniac. Yeah. They've definitely been carrying it. Guerrilla has been, Guerrilla at least put their game out with Horizon Forbidden West. Sony Santa Monica has put out Ragnarok. So they're, you know, they did their part. But I'm just like, for me, what annoys me a bit with Naughty Dog is Factions is in this weird spot where it's like, it was really, like, I thought it was supposed to be a component to The Last of Us Part 2 and that they were just going to do it later. And then they got
He's got a rifle.
then they got ambitious and said, okay, we're going to be doing something really special with Factions. It's going to be its own game. It might have like a story component to it for all we know. And it's going to be one of the most ambitious multiplayer projects they've ever done. Oh god. God, oh god, oh god. Oh, come on. Okay, Dina, you gotta take the second guy out, please.
Don't.
All right, just relax. I think someone's here. I see them! Right in here!
Saw them duck over there! Where'd they go? Come on, start a sweep. They're fucking dead.
Ho, ho, ho. He definitely sees the dead body. Alright, here we go. Can I jump on this van? Awesome. I think that's all of them. Please?
Any left?
Heh.
I don't think so.
Good. Shit. You recognize any of them?
None.
Man, this QZ is huge, right?
It's pretty massive.
You think the wolves are spread out all over it?
I sure hope not.
I love how, like, how casual Ellie is about all this. Like, she's always just like, oh yeah, I hope everything works out. I hope we can get by. Yeah, sure. But yeah, like I said, I'm not worried about PS5. It's just we didn't get what we wanted. We didn't get what we wanted to hear. I'd rather have that problem than being in the Microsoft camp and never knowing if we're ever going to get a quality game. You know, Starfield's going to be their thing, but there's still a lot of doubt in the air of like, oh, is this gonna have problems too? Like, there's a sense of like fear with that I would rather be comfortable. I'm completely at ease that Sony, whenever they're ready to show off the other developers' stuff, that we're gonna get good stuff and quality and all that. So no fear here. And yeah, maybe they should have bought Insomniac early, but I think there was a lot of like there was a lot of like drama, I think, with Insomniac when, like, you know, especially since they had to get away from Universal, so that was a bad relationship. So like they wanted to do their own thing for a while. And I think Sony and even Microsoft kind of respected that for a bit. I think were they owned by Microsoft, or they were still like kind of like freelancing for Microsoft with Sunset Overdrive. I can't remember. I'm trying to remember my controls here. Yeah, Insomniac was they were independent this whole time. And maybe that was the best thing for them. Maybe that was a way for them to not feel burdened by, you know, having like Sony or Microsoft looking over their shoulder. and for them to figure themselves out as a developer, and maybe that speaks to their success and why they're so good at self-management and all that. What we got in here?
Anything in here?
Ooh, this guy
Just
scared me.
Halloween stuff.
Some of this stuff is funny looking.
I'm not a fan.
Dude, by the time we get a good game, the PS6 is gonna come out. I don't think so. I think the PS5 is gonna be a longer lifespan than we think. I think, especially I don't know. I feel like especially since things were slowed down with COVID, I think we're gonna get a little bit more mileage out of this. But I could be wrong. But the Halloween store, very reminiscent of Left Behind's deals. I mean, Last of Us 1's Left Behind DLC. I wonder if there's a giraffe in here. No, there's not. Oh, there's something on the over here. Oh, there's more stuff here. Okay. All right. I'm kind of lost as to where I am. Like, this is where I came from, right? Yeah, I was in here. What's over here? And I was over here. Like, which way am I supposed to be going? Where am I? Benjamin. Does my map still apply? Or are we, like, too far away from the area now? I'm not sure. I think that's a dead end there. Maybe there's something in this truck. Let's check it out. Nothing. I just don't want to go too far without... Maybe sure. It's like I gotta like scout the area before I really like press on here. This looks like pretty open though. Like we're pretty much going around these buildings at this point. So I can go down there into the basketball area. Or no. Did I? Okay. We got a gas station. This looks like a battlefield here. Like we're about to encounter somebody. Let's go get an oil change. Maybe there's a workbench for us to work with here. I imagine there is. Oh yeah, we're definitely in workbench territory. I can feel it. There we are. Let me explore this area first a bit before I go too crazy. Health bar? Okay. I feel like there's gonna be like an infected or something around here, but we'll see. This looks familiar. It's like mandatory to put pills.
Ellie,
Okay.
another patrol.
Don't do it, man.
Oh, is this where like that dog? I think there's like a dog or something.
He asked you to do to them now.
Oops, that's the wrong.
Crying. It's rough. Rough, but... Alright. I'll put a word in for you.
Appreciate it.
Let me give you some advice, though.
Dude.
So about that advice. Guess I'll take these guys out real quick. As best I can. Just shut up, shut up. Nope, I want that bat. I don't know who just...
What's going on?
Someone fucking got her! We got company. Come on.
Just let me go!
Please, please,
She doesn't know that I have no ammo.
please don't.
Or do I? I don't even know. Let's test it.
Oh God, please. Ah!
Oh, I do have ammo, okay.
Holy fuck, Ellie.
I think...
See any more?
No.
I think-
Jesus. You were solid back there.
How many guys did they send looking for you?
Too many.
I literally played Russian roulette with that woman just now because I was like, you know what? I'll let you go if I have no bullets. If I pull a trigger and you have nothing, but it just didn't work out for her. Oh well. Anyway, this is the 150th episode of Kev Plays. I figured this is a good stopping place, and then we can get to the workbench next episode. Papa Pig, it's been a pleasure. Anyone out there who wants to like, comment, or subscribe, it's greatly appreciated. You can subscribe to Kev Plays on YouTube or follow me at Let's Watch Series on Twitter. Other than that, stay safe, stay healthy, keep a clear head, and keep on gaming. And I'll catch you all next time. Peace out.